This is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. Mandatory minicamp kicks off today for the Green Bay Packers up in Titletown. Jaire Alexander officially released by the team yesterday afternoon after 7 seasons in Green Bay. What does the fallout look like? We'll talk about it on Wilde and Tausch coming up next here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel with Jason Wilde sharing insights and observations from Titletown. Meanwhile, in Pittsburgh, mandatory minicamp kicks off today as well. 2 interesting developments there related to the state of Wisconsin. First, quarterback Aaron Rodgers is in attendance for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but who's not? Former Wisconsin Badger TJ Watt on the defensive side of the ball. We'll keep our eyes posted on that as news around the NFL develops throughout the course of the day. Baseball, the Brewers fall 7-1 in the first of their 3 games set to the Atlanta Braves last night at American Family Field. The 2 teams back at it tonight, 6:40 first pitch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Tuesday edition. I think I figured out a way for us to get TJ Watt and Trey Hendrickson, and we don't even have to give up all that much. Edition.
I'm sure you do.
That's such a great scene. It's such a great scene on Seinfeld. Jaire Alexander is no longer a Packer. Now what? Talk about where this team stands at the cornerback position and how confident you may or may not be. Edition. And the Evan Cohen scheduled to appear. I'm guessing he has himself an opinion on Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers, on where the Packers are at in the pecking order, and maybe even the NBA Finals edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find in both the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay, where we will have our first minicamp practice today at 10:30, so I'll be joining you from an undisclosed location, very close to where football is being played. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, and from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He... It's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. You sent me a scorecard.
Yeah.
Is it from Miniature Golf?
No.
There's a lot of people in a restaurant. I assume that's Buck and Honey's. There appears to be a man who might be Santa Claus in his off season.
It's not Buck and Honeys, even though we love Buck and Honeys on this show.
What is this, and why are you sending it to me?
It is. So I've been doing a lot of golf outings the last month and a half, 2 months.
You have.
Do a lot during the summer. And I don't win many of them. I used to when we'd come back for the Wisconsin Legends Classic when I was playing for the G&G. And,
sure. Big
I was a little freer swinger.
Mm-hmm.
I'd win long drives. I'd win things. And you'd get – eventually, whatever. But I have not won a scramble in a while until yesterday. We got it done. And – you'll be surprised but not surprised. What do you think the first place prize was for our charity? It was with our good friends from the Gordon Flesh Company. We didn't have to flush anything yesterday. We fleshed out a championship yesterday is what we did. We've been doing this for, I think, 7 or 8 years. We've sniffed championships. We've been right there knocking at the door. And yesterday we barricaded through. And for that barricading, what did we get? A vortex
rangefinder.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. That's what we did. So a couple of things. We have Clussy, who is he's my muskie guy. He's my Johnny Kluss he's just the guy. I mean,
wait, did you each get one?
Yeah, we all got one. There's
okay,
four
you don't
of
have
us,
to
so
share it. Like you don't have to rotate through. Hey, it's mine this week.
No, we did not have to share it. But we've battled, we won, and a lot of times if you look at that scorecard, look at that back nine we shot yesterday.
You cooked up.
That's a beautiful
People will
back
say
nine.
People will say we cheated, and I know I would.
That's my
if I
first
looked
thought.
at that scorecard. We did not cheat.
Couple too many twos to be real there.
Well, they're par threes, Jesse. The twos were par threes. It's a scramble, and Johnny Kluss is right around a scratch golfer.
So he carried you. How much
actually,
did you contribute to this? That's what I want to know.
A bunch. Let me tell you something. Put that scorecard back up, Jesse. I'll go through it with you.
Especially for those of you listening on terrestrial radio.
Well, I'm going to go through it. I made 10, 11.
This guy sitting behind you totally knows he's getting in this picture at the last
13.
He's got mustard sauce dripping off his chin. He's wiping it off.
So on 16, I hit an absolute snaker right to left.
Is that
downhill.
A good thing?
I made 5 of the, I guess, 9 putts on the back 9. I drove it pretty good. It was just a really good team effort. I totally jinxed us. We started off 4 under after the first 4. I said something. We went par. So Jocko was out there with some of our friends from Zimbrick. It was just a good day. A good day and
Today
a championship
was a good day
for the Gordon Flesh Company and Old T. Just a good day yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thanks. How do we feel? Let me ask you this. How do we feel about buying mulligans? How do we feel about
No.
Yeah,
Jason?
Charitable donation.
That's
in.
what I'm asking.
Don't tell me
sure.
you won this because you bought 100 mulligans.
We didn't buy 100. I'll tell you what, Jesse,
More
here's
than
the
10?
deal. Yes, we bought 20 mulligans,
no.
but hold up.
20 mulligans.
That is
20
an exorbitant amount
How
of
much
mulligans.
were they a piece?
Hey, guys, we ended up raising the whole group, and I'll tell you what, Melhoff, his wife, is running this thing now, the old kicker for the University
Taylor
of Wisconsin.
Melhoff, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She did a fantastic job. They raised, I want to say, close to $80,000 on a Monday afternoon.
And that's just your mulligans.
That's amazing, yeah.
That's just the mulligans. But, Jesse, this is the thing you're going to be shocked by. We bought 20 mulligans.
Didn't even use them all.
We only used, I think we used 11 of them. So we left 9 mulligans at the course. Now, can we bank those for next year? I don't think so. I think we have to say no. But That's part of the deal.
You still
Now,
bought 20 mulligans and used 11, and you're calling this a championship.
hey, Jesse,
This is
I hate
more of
to
an
tell you
asterisk
this.
than the Lakers or the Bucks winning the finals
You're an
in
asterisk.
the COVID seasons.
There's no more handshakes either.
The deal is, this wasn't. We've done these outings where you get yarn and you have 18 feet left on a putt. You can use it. That to me is ridiculous.
Yarn.
Mulligans. I'll say this. I would rather not have mulligans in this. And if we don't have mulligans, in fairness, we probably only shoot 12 or 13 under yesterday.
Appreciate your
fairness.
honesty.
But it
And
raised it. And
would that have been good enough to win?
No.
well, the team. Taylor's group finished 15 under. Mike Sherman's son-in-law was out there, Jason, yesterday. He was playing.
Zach
And he
Taylor?
came up to me. No, his other one. And came up and said that he puts me and Mike Flanagan as his two favorite players that he coached. Mike Sherman.
Mike
Which was
Sherman
nice.
does? Wow.
I think he was just being nice. but
No,
it was
I
still
can
nice
believe
to
that.
hear.
I can believe that.
No,
I
I'm
totally
a big
believe
fan
it.
of Mike Sherman. I'm a big fan of Mike Sherman. So I guess in putting a bow on this thing.
Wait a minute. No,
They
don't bow
shot
it just
50
yet.
Now, we're not bowing it up yet.
Are those
No,
are
just
those
the
marks?
conversation. Then you can ask questions.
Oh, okay.
You
All
can
right,
ask
sure.
questions. After.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
They shot 15 under. We would have shot 12 to 13 under, no Mully. With Mully, it got us three, at least
Love
probably
Mully.
three.
Okay, so
And
let
Let me show you
these
right
little
here
marks,
for
the little marks
for
at
our
the bottom.
listener.
What are those?
For our listener, that might be the use of the mulligans, I believe.
I count 13.
13, so we didn't use 7. I was off by 1. My bad. The 526-yard par 5. I got to give it up for Rolo. Did it all himself. And for anybody, did it all himself.
With a
Hit the
mulligan.
drive, hit a smoked 3-wood, and then hit about a 25-foot bomb for eagle. That was what sparked us to a chip yesterday. So, good day. Now I'm done.
So those are all you used a lot of mulligans. And you used multiple mulligans on a single hole?
You used like 4 mulligans on one hole. 3.
Yes.
You used 5 mulligans on back-to-back holes.
Yeah, we were struggling.
So-
We had to pull out of it a little bit. If you notice, we used 3. It didn't even help us. We still only parred. So we were an honest group.
So you would have had like a 7 or an 8 probably on
Thank
that
you for your
hole.
honesty.
A 7 or an 8? What the hell are you talking about? No. Do you understand how mulligans work?
If you had to use 3 mulligans on the same hole, that's awful.
Yeah, it was all on the same
And
putt,
then you used
numbskull.
4 on a later
It's all
hole.
on a putt.
You used the
You line up
mulligan on
the
a
putt.
putt?
You can't
Yes.
use mulligans on putts.
What? You can't do that.
Do you guys
That's not what a
understand what
mulligan
mulligans
is.
are?
Aren't mulligans
Yeah.
Do you
always
understand how?
Do you?
Have you guys went to a charity golf outing ever?
Actually, I have.
I don't think you have.
Yes, I have. You're supposed to use them on your drives.
Yeah,
That's what a
mulligans
No,
are
mulligan
that's
is.
not how
T-shirts.
mulligans work in this. That's
It-
not how
I
it
don't
works.
think you
in-
know how mulligans work.
This is
Okay.
extra fraudulent.
You used
now.
them on
So
putts. Putts?
y'all think that that's shady?
Yeah,
I don't think that's shady. I know that's shady.
you need to return that rangefinder right now. you,
Well, it ain't happening. I love Vortex. You guys know I'm a Vortex guy now.
Great partner. You
you
seriously,
bought 20
you know.
mulligans, and then you used
Yeah.
3 on one hole, and they weren't even
Listen,
on the drive.
Jesse, we used almost exclusively. We putted, and that's if you have any common sense, you're going to use your mullies on the putting green. That's where you pick up strokes. So
But
I don't know
that's
what
not
the hell
a
y'all are
mulligan
thinking. That's what you
is.
do. You
Mulligans
don't know
are
what a
for
mulligan is. Then
drives.
a mulligan is a redo of a shot.
Yes, for
That's what it
drives.
There
No.
are often did you check the official contest rules when you started the golf
I
outing?
did not. I
'Cause I would
literally
not-
finished the show and jumped in a cart and went and played. That's what I did.
So I have golfed in several outings where in the rules it stipulates you can buy mulligans. That's often a thing that happens for a charitable cause. It's part of the game when you go to a golf outing of that nature. But it oftentimes stipulates mulligans to be used on tee shots only. Are you sure?
Traditionally, mulligans can only be played on tee shots, which are notoriously difficult to make accurately. And sometimes they may only be played on the first tee shot of a round, known as
and when
a
you're playing
breakfast
regular
ball.
golf, this was a charity golf outing.
You can't use
boys.
mulligans on the green to get 8 putts so you can figure out the read on 8th time's
Apparently
a
you
charm
can.
So you can get a 2 on a
that's what
par
we did.
3. That's not
You
how
cheated.
No, yeah.
So y'all
cheated.
think y'all think we
You
cheated,
cheated your way to a chip yesterday. Yes.
Cheater McCheaterson.
Very interesting. This sounds dramatic. This sounds like a little drama that I didn't anticipate. I was anticipating you guys being supportive teammates saying, "Attaboy, T. I know you're out here doing all these a lot of golf outings. You don't win jack." And in fairness, I'm out there for just a good cause. I didn't care if we won. I did want to win.
Then why'd you cheat?
I don't feel like we cheated. I feel like we bought mulligans and used them. We didn't even use all our mulligans.
All right,
That never
get Mel Half on the phone or get his wife on the phone. I want an answer on how were the mulligans intended to be used by the Gordon Flesh Company. That's what I want to know. Because my definition and most golfers, because I'm not really a golfer, just a coach, define a mulligan as being used on tee shots. Certainly not on putts. And especially not in a scramble. So I do have a question, though, since we're talking about cheaters in golf, namely you and your crew. So Sydney played in a tournament a couple weeks ago, and one of the boys that she was competing against was clearly shaving strokes off his score. What is the...
Oh, wow.
What is her...
Well, just wait a second.
That's a harsh
Explain
accusation
what
to throw.
that means. What does that mean? Hitting balls out of bounds and not taking...
He had an 8, and then Sydney was the scorekeeper for their foursome, and he told her he had a 6, and this happened multiple times.
Well, then you say, "Are you sure?" Because boop, 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 boop. You have to go through. It's on Sid as the scorekeeper to say,
so that's
no, actually,
my
you had an
question.
8 because of this.
Like,
yes.
Is she supposed to, like, because she didn't want to be that guy and confront him, but she knew, and because I was walking with the crew, so I saw multiple instances of this.
That you were in her back pocket as she was golfing.
I was not in her back pocket. I was a safe distance away. Thank you very much. Giving her nothing but positive encouragement and no sort of coaching whatsoever, because those are the rules, much like mulligans. So
what coaching are you giving her, anyways? I've seen you golf. You're coaching her up on what? I guess you could be a good coach.
My game's improved a lot. Wait till I get.
Well, it's improved enough that you're still scared to even think about breaking 200 on it. But that's
well, how many mulligans do I get?
And where can he use them?
Anywhere on the course. All right. We need to get ready for Evan Cohen coming up. I would like to get to the fact that it's the first day of mini camps around the league.
All right. I just want to give you, because my boys from Gordon Flesh are listening.
This is so IPT.
They are listening. And let me tell you something. They are not happy with you two. This is almost the same as the video headlines, the vibe I was getting from the people that we produced video headlines. Here, and I quote from Nate, who I just told you about. Rolo had a great 13th hole. Eagled it himself. No mulligans.
Didn't need
by the
any
way.
mulligans.
Go back and check.
Exactly.
No, go back and check. No mulligans on the scorecard on that. Man, did the big chip announcement on the show this morning fall flat. Those clowns, that's you and Jesse, don't understand the mulligan scenarios in a charity scramble. Thank you, Nate, and I hope you two clowns.
What were you going to call us there?
Numbskulls, I think he had on the tip of his tongue, yeah.
But I didn't. You guys don't understand how charity scrambles work.
No,
and that's okay.
Bought them. You bought them,
yes,
which is the most important thing.
To raise money for the charity.
To raise money for the charity.
To help
have totally agree.
Fair to do.
We are questioning the usage, not the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Also, John Kerry, retired from the Mac Fund. Few have run more charity golf outings than me. I never heard of limiting them to drives. So Tausch was fine.
Never.
Oh, wow.
You guys don't understand charity. I have another text from my friend Brooke. She is a golfer. She says, I can't believe, and they call you bozos. I can't believe those bozos don't know you can use mulligans on putts. It's unbelievable to me. And she's got her hands clasped in her face. She's so disgusted with you two. So you guys basically, we have grinded, and we had a great meal after the outing last night. You guys have kind of taken the shine. Hold up. You have taken the shine off of what has been an incredible, persevering. We finished second. We thought of ourselves last night. Hold up. We thought of ourselves as the Chicago Bulls getting past the Pistons. That's what we felt like winning last night. And then you guys, supposedly my teammates,
sounds like you're more like the Houston Astros tipping pitches.
Yeah, Jordan, the garbage winner didn't go in at the buzzer. Good thing we get 5 more tries at it because we spent a few bucks.
Jordan over Elo. No, he missed it. Wait a minute. Let's replay that play.
You guys just urinating in our championship Cheerios. I am not very happy about that. But I digress. Well, you know what? It's time for Jesse and Jason to understand the rules of charity scrambles, as everybody is telling them because they don't know. But it is also it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, but you don't want to spend a fortune like we did on our mulligans yesterday. Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget. Right now, get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments for up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends June 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Also, no offense to Rolo, but him weighing in on the rules when he was part of the group that won is kind of like the manager of the Astros saying, we didn't do anything wrong. We're fine.
That's not it at all. But.
And he didn't have to use the mulligans.
Right? I'm telling you, that was an impressive hole that he put together.
All I want to know is for those who are much more experienced, frequent golfers than me, when I say mulligan, do you think I can use that on a missed putt?
It's different. Charity outings are different than the real world, Jason. You don't get that. Get out of your basement. Go play in a charity outing, and you'll find out.
I am going to get out of my basement. I'm going to go to Minicamp. They practice at 10:30. We'll talk.
I don't know if they have mulligans. Actually, they have mulligans at Minicamp. Hey, redo it. We didn't get it done. Yeah.
Jordan over Elo. Let's play that one again. More Wilde and Tausch.
That was pretty good.
Straight ahead. Stick around.
That was pretty good.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is Kyle Brusson-Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon, and Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025. Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Their concession stand makes you feel like you're at the state fair with something for everyone. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Celebrate the red, white, and blue at the Bridges. On Sunday, June 29th, play a two-person scramble for just $120 per person, including 18 holes with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Matt Hamilton from Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team. Help us take home the gold and vote for us every day at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
Give him hell, time to hands. Gonna live life till we're dead. Give me scars, give me pain. Then the saying me, saying me, saying me. There goes the fire.
We'll get to football a little bit later, including some live from Field. But Matt Coonan, our MVT, those who say you guys should stick to football can kick rocks. Love the first segment. I would also like to say, for the record, I do not appreciate having my charitable instincts questioned and being called a bozo or a clown or a numbskull.
Whoa,
an idiot.
No, hold up. Nobody questioned your charitable instincts, your charity golf instincts we did.
So it's great that you bought so many mulligans. I love it. I'm glad you guys ponied up because it's awesome. Because it earns money for the charity that you're promoting. Totally 100% on board. My mere question is, don't you feel like you're using them in an unintended way when you're re-putting? Re-putting. No. I would even expand it out to approach shots. I'd be okay with that. It's a charity golf outing. But the putting? Come on. You drive for show, you putt for dough, and you give everybody, come on.
I've never heard of anyone using a mulligan on the green in any capacity ever, unless it's just like you're practicing.
You guys don't get out. Get out more. Hey, boys, get out more. That's all I can tell you. There is nobody that does charity outings that will tell you can't use them on putts. Now, Somebody just who you just put up on the talk and text line, Jesse?
This was Drew in Dayton, Ohio. I'll get it back up here.
So Drew's 100% right. If you're going out, first off, I don't play. We play breakfast ball. We don't do mulligans. Once you become like a certain, you play enough golf, mulligans are dead. You can play breakfast ball if you don't get to the range. You get 2 off the first, and then that's it. That's your day. My old buddy T-Stro used to call it prangies. You hit till you like it, and then you're done. After that, you're good. Here, you don't play mulligans anymore. You get that, and that's it. I don't do mulligans. My own golf, I never use mulligans anymore. It's over. It's done.
Prangies, like the old department store?
Yep.
Okay. Learn something new every day. Well, congratulations on your championship. We couldn't be happier for you.
Yeah, Jeremy, how many mulligans did the second team place? Yeah, it's a great question.
How many mulligans did the second place team use?
You don't know?
I hope they used 60 because that means that more money was put in. I hope they had 100 mulligans. That's what I hope. I have no idea, though.
Okay. This has been fun. I don't like being called a bozo just because I'm questioning the veracity of your title.
I don't mind it.
Well, you should be used to it by now.
I have no choice.
Gruber Law Offices. We don't feel the need to take this to court, but if we did, David would be my first call. Actually, I don't think he handles questionable usage of mulligans. He plays in a lot of charity golf tournaments. I'll have to ask him how often he uses his mulligans. But I know this. I never want to have to call him because I need legal help because I've been seriously injured in an accident. But if you are, that's the call to make. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. Adam in Oregon or Oregon, depending on if he's in the Pacific Northwest or a suburb of Madison. Everything I'm reading says at a charity outing, unless stated in the rules, it is widely accepted that the use of purchased mulligans can be implemented at any point in the round. Adam, if you're telling me you're checking a rule book on mulligans, I'm calling BS. There are even suggestions to bank them for putts. Oddly enough, Adam was in Tausch's foursome. What are the odds of that?
No, he was not.
Hey, look, I'm glad
he's reasonable enough that he could have been, though. He actually understands how golf outings work.
We'll have to check the rule book for charity golf outings. And, again, when you come in hot, showing off your scorecard, bragging up and down, and then drop we bought 20 mulligans, we used 13, and we used a lot of them.
Tried to sneak one by saying you used 11 just to make it look better.
No, I missed. That was. I knew we left a bunch of mulligans on. I knew we left a bunch on the course, so it was off by a couple. That's on me.
Evan Cohen will weigh in because I'll say this. I'm very eager to see if he comes down on your side because his default setting is to disagree with you.
I don't know how much he golfs. He is a lot more like you than you two ever could have imagined. You guys are very similar.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I know. I am. I really am. But my default setting is not to argue with you. My default setting is to agree with you. So that's one difference that we have. We will be joined by him next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Bucks.
In the landscape of today's NBA.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
Why would you be loyal to an organization? None of your peers are.
Madison's home of the Bucks. 100.5 ESPN.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
This fall, build your perfect Wisconsin football game day with a mini pack. Pick any 3 games, including Big Ten matchups like Washington, Iowa, and Ohio State, and save while cheering on the Badgers. Big matchups, big moments, and it's all on your schedule. Football mini packs are available now. Create your custom game day experience today at uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. First touchdown to the 5th quarter. There's always something to enjoy. Football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
We're on the Badgers.
The schedule, as we all know, it's very challenging, daunting, however you want to describe it.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
He wants guys who want to jump at the opportunity to play against a schedule like that.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't get out of this town, I just might be the one who finally burns it down. I'm throwing caution. I'm throwing caution.
Joining us now from Unsportsmanlike to tell us if Tausch cheated or not, in his opinion, it is Evan Cohen. Evan, good morning. How are you?
I am pretty good, guys. And you? I'm curious, cheated in his opinion. I'm curious to hear where this goes.
Yeah,
So-
Jason, tell him.
So Tausch played in a charitable golf outing yesterday, something he does regularly out of the kindness of his heart, being a great person and charitable giver.
Or he gets freebie swag bags. No big deal. Keep going.
Maybe both. And his group purchased 20 Mulligans Great way to support the charitable cause.
Right.
And use them, it would appear, 13 total usages. And it sounds like a high percentage of the 13 that they used were on putts. Did his team, which won the championship, thanks in large part to its Mulligan purchases, cheat?
That's a very interesting question. So I am not a golfer, and I don't know the rules and regulations around this, but I guess the question becomes this. You're saying, is it cheating because of the idea that it's supposed to be used off? Is that correct?
I just don't think they're supposed to be used for putts. That was my biggest issue.
So, but you're allowed to purchase the Mulligans, obviously, right?
Obviously, yes.
You're actually encouraged to do that.
Right, because it helps the charitable funds, obviously,
Correct.
whatever it is.
Yes. Yes.
And so now the question, just so I understand, are there rules and regulations around how to use said purchase Mulligan?
No, you use them wherever you feel like you can gain strokes to win. That's the whole point of doing it. Are you there?
Did we lose him?
It's a dead air. I think that's.
I lost you for a
there you
second.
go. No.
Say that again. I'm sorry. You can use them wherever?
Well,
Yes.
Traditionally, mulligans are not used on putts, but we're being told by the arbiter of all things fair, Mark Tauscher, that in charity golf
hold up a
outings,
second. Oh, Jason, hold up a second. I told you the fact that you, being a prominent local celebrity, you have not been to a lot of charity golf outings. I said you and Evan are very. I knew Evan didn't golf or much. This should have been common sense, but it wasn't. Then you guys attack me, not you, Evan, Jason.
Attack.
And now everybody that has texted me or our show or you have said the same things, including the guy that used to run the MAC Fund and do charity outings constantly and is a great friend of the show, told you, and you still don't want to believe what your lying ears are telling you.
I just wanted to get Evan's opinion before we move forward. That's all I was trying to do here. And I was hoping, since he likes to disagree with you, that he would side with us. That's the truth.
So, okay. No, I think this is a good angle and good conversation. I would say that I totally understand where Jason is coming from because, in essence, it's a spirit of the rule, unwritten rule thing, right? Is the spirit of the rule to use the mulligan by way of putting? The answer to that is probably no. But is it within the rules? Absolutely 100% it is. So if Tausch and his teammates want to buy and spend more money, invest more money into the charity than anyone else to get as many mulligans as possible to basically guarantee themselves victory, how they use the mulligans, to me, not the issue. You know what the issue is? And a charity would never do this, obviously. The issue would be, should there be a cap and a max on the amount of mulligans anyone is allowed to purchase? That, to me, would be more
for slow play, and I get that. No.
John Kerry did mention it slows down play. That is true.
It does. But in fairness, I've played it. This is, I think, my third or fourth, maybe even more. It was the fastest moving one of the ones I've done so far, even with all the mulligans. So take that for what.
How many do you normally purchase, Tausch, would you say?
I think typically you want to be in that 5 to 10 range. You don't want to have 20 is a lot. 20 was a lot, but we didn't even use all of them.
How much they were?
I want to say there were, I think $10, $5 or $10 a mully, something like that.
All right. So for somebody like you, you don't even notice that that's out of your wallet. Okay. You know what? My official ruling.
I'm surprised. You don't do more. You don't do golf outings. A man of the people like you.
No, I don't. I'll tell you the story. 2003, I moved to South Florida. I was invited to go to PGA National Resort and Spa in South Florida in Palm Beach Gardens, where where they had the rookie symposium, I want to say in 2005, Aaron Rodgers' rookie year, I want to say was actually there, if I'm not mistaken. And they had so they had this 3-day golf school, right? They invited other members of our ESPN West Palm team and I to go to. I'm not a golfer, and so I go from 0 to 100 real quick. 3 days golf, nonstop, all you did, all day, all night. I was in pain by the end of it. My hands were killing me. My body was killing me. I was not prepared for it. I was not a golfer. It was awful. I hated it. I hated it for me. They did a great job, obviously, but I needed some sort of in between, and since then I have not played golf. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love tennis. I play tennis. I just don't love golf. I'd like to play Tausch.
And David Gruber, who's a very good tennis player.
5 or 6 years ago, that would have been fun.
One last question so we can put a bow on this, because I'm scrolling through the YouTube comments and I missed this earlier. John asks, please ask the important question. Did all 4 players putt again, and did that count as 1 mulligan?
Every time someone putted, that was 1 mulligan.
Okay. It's an important question. Thanks for clarifying.
I will
Matter
say.
of fact, if you look on the put that back up, Jesse. If you look at the scorecard on our video stream, there is 1 hole we made a par on, and we only had 3 putts. It was a right to left slider. I don't like right to left putts. I didn't even use a mulligan because I thought we'd waste it. So there you go. That gives you a good indication of how this plays out.
Okay. Evan, there's a lot of guys not taking part in their mini camps across the league. TJ Watt, Trey Hendrickson, Terry McLaurin. What do you make of this trend line today throughout the NFL?
Yeah, so you have to explain this to me, Jason, because I was, this was all happening during our show this morning as Shefty was reporting all of this. Hold-ins or hold-outs are these guys? Because this is the new trend, right? The hold-in is Tausch could not be happy with his contract with the Packers. He shows up and says, my back's hurting. They can't question the injury, and you can't find
sit
him.
in.
Find him.
Hey, Evco, I know you're an old 90210 fan. It's the old Donna Martin sit-in with the graduation back in the day. That's what this is the sit-in.
So this is a Donna Martin graduate situation? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, the graduation is, do they get the contract? Otherwise, nobody graduates. Donna Martin graduates, but they all sat in order to support her. All right, continue.
Yeah, shout out to Mrs. Teasley, the principal.
Now, the best name at a sitcom, Nat Pisiccio, that ran the Peach Pit. Is there a better name for a guy that runs the Peach Pit than Nat Pisiccio?
Well, I'm guessing he named it the Peach Pit after his last name, don't you think?
Maybe.
No, I think it was
Maybe.
Busticcio. But how about his name in real life? Joe E. Tata. I mean, that's a great name for that guy in real life.
That is a good name.
That's
true.
And then, God, so many good names on that show. What about Saved by the Bell? Stacy Carosi, and then Mr. Carosi, who ran the beach club in the summer. Mr. Carosi is a good name. Mr. Belding for a principal. Saved by the Bell sounds great.
Well,
the best,
Rod Belding, one of the great lines. I had beers with Richard Belding, and I got him to autograph some stuff. When Rod Belding came, one of the best episodes ever, Cool Rod comes to take the kids out on a whitewater rafting trip, goes in, and you know what? And this is, I guarantee you, Matt Coonan is loving this. And Rod finds some chick and says, deuces to Zach and the boys, and then they have to go with Rich Belding instead, and everybody started to come around and think, maybe he's cooler, but dependability in a principal, much more important than coolness. One of the great episodes of all time.
Can we not blow past, you've gone out drinking with Dennis Haskins? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Mr. Belding?
Yeah, he was at a UW Green Bay event, and Brad Bedell, one of my old buddies that played O-line, was friends with him. So we ended up having beers out on the east side of Green Bay with Richard Belding for a night. Let me tell you something. He's got stories. I don't know how much to believe, but Dick Haskins had stories now.
All right, Tausch, I got to walk you through a couple of debates that I've had over the years, maybe in the morning with men. Okay, so would you rather hang out at the Max or the Peach Pit? So the Max is the Saved by the Bell Diner, the Peach Pit.
The
really?
Max. Not even close.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think it's the combination of Kelly Kapowski and probably what's her face, Spano, and I think that's a crew you wanted to roll with. AC and Zach. Yeah, that's all right. I would have been with that crew.
You're telling. Okay, I would take Peach Pit. Here's why. First of all, obviously Brandon Walsh. Brandon Walsh is getting your orders right. Would you agree?
Yes, he's more meticulous, but that's not why you go to these diners.
No, but hold on a second. This is the greatest question maybe ever asked since the statement I had a couple of weeks ago with you guys about Jordan Love. Has Brandon Walsh ever gotten an order wrong? I feel like he is a perfect waiter. You know that he has the pen and the pad there. He's never just doing it off of memory, right? So Brandon Walsh, you know, is getting you know he's getting your order right. Nat Pasiccio, I mean, in the mix. You know, the milkshakes are going to be good. The burgers are going to be good. The food's going to be good. Plus, think about this. You go out with your crew. You go late night Friday or Saturday. You're going to Peach Pit after dark, and you're walking connected to the Peach Pit for late night food? That's unbelievable.
Well, that all is fair, and they pulled some major acts back in the day. I think they had like Maroon 5. Like Pasiccio was pulling it. But
wait a minute.
Yeah.
I know this very well. Technically, that was Kara's Flowers. That was Maroon 5 before Maroon 5 performed at the Peach Pit after dark as Kara's Flowers. Look it up, Jesse, with a K.
Well, the other issue that you're missing, you're not getting magic acts. You go to the Max, old boy's pulling rabbits out. He's doing magic. So if you like magic, you're going to go with the Max over the Peach Pit.
Okay, but what about, what's the actress's name who became a megastar who was a waitress there? Oh, my God, I forgot her name. In $1 Million Baby.
Hillary Swank.
Hillary Swank.
No, Hillary Swank.
Not Hillary Duff. Hillary Swank.
Yeah, I was wrong.
I
was wrong.
If in case you're just joining us, this is our discussion about all the players that are holding in at minicamps throughout the league.
Minicamp underway today.
Ed Helm sucks.
This is important. Okay? Now, what about, let me play out another one. You got Brandon Walsh as your waiter, and you're going to the Peach Pit late night with Dylan McKay. Come on, Tausch. You could bring up the magic. You could bring up Jim Harbaugh walking into the Max, which he did. Jim Harbaugh walked in there, who's Screech's cousin. Screech, I believe, Dustin Diamond, may rest in peace, from Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's a Milwaukee guy.
Yeah, so there you go. I think you got to go Peach Pit after over the Max. That's just me.
Well, the tough question, and this is the uncomfortable question, Tiffany Amber Thiessen is in both. Which Tiffany would you rather have hung out with? Kelly Kapowski, or I don't remember her name on 902.
Valerie Malone. Valerie Malone.
Val!
Every day.
The Valerie.
Yes. You know that she invited me to her house for Thanksgiving once and I didn't go? That's a true story.
Kapowski did?
No, Tiffany Thiessen.
Why didn't you go?
True story. Because it felt like a fake invite, like as part of a radio interview.
Who cares?
Actually inviting me. Yeah, I know.
Just wait a second. Right. So you're sitting there on your old show, you're interviewing her, and she invites you over for Thanksgiving, and you all said no?
I've never been more disappointed in my life in you.
Okay, I'll give you another one. Guy Fieri invited us to Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
No. Just hold up. Hold up.
Hold on, I'm going to give you all the
Guy Fieri, that's cute. Hey, Guy Fieri, that's cute and everything. You're telling me that old girl invited you and Babchick over, and you both. There's no way Babchick is not going over to Thanksgiving. It's not happening.
You think he's spending money to go anywhere? No chance. No, this is true. True story.
So she invited you to fly down to Texas to see her?
Well, or California, where she lives. Where did you get her living in Texas?
Well, you're not the only person that has adjacent. I have a friend that is very tight with Tiffany. I've tried to get her on the show. It has not worked up to this point. So
I didn't get time. Could not be nicer. Let me tell you something. People are around. I'm going to be as appropriate as I can be right now. people around our age, Jason, Mark, and I, grew up loving a lot of people, right? Like people that are interested in females. Love Halle Berry. Crushes, good way of saying it. Had crushes on
Alyssa
Halle Berry,
Milano.
right? Alyssa Milano, Tiffany Thiessen.
Yep.
This was like the era of the crushes, right?
Yep.
Tiffany Thiessen in real life, she could literally, you never see her, and you just talk to her, and you would have a crush on her. She's that sweet.
Wow.
She's that
But
wonderful.
you didn't go to
Seriously,
Thanksgiving. Okay.
That's correct. I mean, she wouldn't know who I was right now if I walked in the room. This was forever ago. But
I would
the
agree.
point is, yeah, I wouldn't.
Maybe she
ask
likes
that.
Unsportsmanlike. You don't know what her viewing.
What does she think
She
of
might
Trey
love
Hendrickson?
USL.
Well, by the way, that's an interesting point. I have been told there is a very, 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 very famous Green Bay Packers fan who happens to be a very big fan of Unsportsmanlike.
Oh, who is it?
And we'll tell you who it is next.
Is he
on Wilde
Lil?
and Tausch.
He may be.
Wait,
Well, who
what?
is it?
I'm not saying, but Jesse may have figured it out pretty quickly.
I asked if he's Lil.
Jesse, give me a hint. Who?
Is he Lil?
Wheezy? Lil
never said
Wayne
anything.
watches Unsportsmanlike?
I never said that. Jesse said that.
Oh, Jesse did. Okay.
Well, does he get
Well,
more
that was
sports
something.
when he watches that show?
That was something right there.
Can I ask a question about
Yeah.
something about
Yes.
Packers related? If I
It'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
no, we're making. Did you watch any show? What did you do growing up, Jason? Did you play sports? Did you have fun? I'm not someone.
Law
that
and
has fun
Order.
in life.
No, you watched Law and Order.
All right. I
as a little
appreciate that. I watched both the shows you discussed. You guys were riffing. I wasn't going to interrupt. There are a handful of folks that we are 55 minutes into the first day of mandatory minicamp, and our discussions have covered Mulligan usage and the Saved by the Bell crew vis-a-vis the 90210 crew. That's all. I'm happy to discuss further. I did
All right, so
reference
let me bring
Craig
up
Elo
something
at
that-
one
let me
point.
bring up something that is important and relevant. So PFT throwing out the first pitch last night at the Brewers game. I was fascinated by this. So he wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to be Arian Foster from his show. They surprised him by doing that. Do you think that was the right move? I've been thinking about this because if they would have promoted PFT throwing out the first pitch, I feel like even more people would have shown up to see him. But they surprised him with the opportunity to throw out the first pitch to Yelich last night. Have you guys discussed that?
We have not. Arian Foster of Draft Day fame?
Well, yeah, he's on the micro dosing pod or whatever it's called with whatever it's called. I think that's what it is. It's part of Barstool with PFT. It's a very big thing.
He is a Brewers fan, noted Brewers fan, Arian Foster.
He is? That part I
Arian
didn't know.
Foster, how did he become a Brewers
No
fan?
clue. I just know he is. When you look up like celebrity Brewers fans, he's on the list. And we're like, wow.
Has he ever been
right.
visited? Has he ever been invited to Thanksgiving by Kelly Kapowski?
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard Jason get Tausch to break like that. Well done.
That was good. That was good.
That
Okay, so
happens
here's my
more than
Packers
you think.
thing. No, seriously. Okay, here's my thing. Yesterday, I'd get up. There was a conversation about the NFC North quarterbacks because obviously the division is fascinating in terms of the quarterbacks, right? And they were talking, Dan Orlovsky and Peter Schrager specifically, about the QB with the most pressure on them in the division. And Orlovsky said Caleb Williams, no doubt. Schrager said J.J. McCarthy, no doubt. Smalls and I discussed it. CC was off today on Sportsmanlike, weekday mornings, 5 a.m. on ESPN Wisconsin. And Smalls said, it's got to be Jared Goff, like they're the closest to the Super Bowl, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, what am I missing? How is it not Jordan Love, who, in my mind, clearly has the most pressure on him because he hasn't had a full season from start to finish where he's been great? And I've got to think that if he doesn't have that kind of season, we then start to relitigate Love in the contract. We start to relitigate Handsome Matt coaching the team. Like, we start to relitigate all of this. I'm not suggesting he's going to have a bad season or that I wouldn't want him as the quarterback or LaFleur as the coach. What I'm saying is isn't it him, or am I wrong on that?
I can't believe I'm saying this. I could not agree with you more. Like, it is a...
And it's not, Jason, it's not firing. It's just
No.
litigating. Yeah, you know?
Right. And look, he benefited in 2023 from there not really being expectations, right? And then he completely outkicked the expectations in the second half of the season. Was a huge part of them winning a playoff game on the road in Dallas. He played near perfect football. And he played near perfect football for 3 quarters against the San Francisco 49ers before the 2 interceptions and the loss in the fourth quarter in the divisional round. Last year, there were expectations. He dealt with injuries. He dealt with drops. He dealt with his own inconsistent play. They lost their last 3 games. This is a pivotal year for him to show that he is who he appeared to be during the second half of the 23 season. And if he doesn't do that, to your point, I do think there are conversations about, well, how good is he really? And for $55 million a year, because the cost balloons next year in terms of how expensive he is on your cap as opposed to these first 2 years, those are all conversations. Now, the problem with you saying that and me agreeing with it is then we are painted as love haters. And, we don't think he's very good. That's not what I'm saying. And that's not what you're saying. It's a pivotal time for him to show for him to show that he is who we thought he was and who the Packers thought he was.
I'm definitely not a love hater for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah, me either.
I think Goody is great at his job. I love the idea that he could be better with the Packers than Rodgers was at the end. That competition, this is not an anti-Jordan Love thing in the slightest. I want to reiterate the word that I keep using, which is relitigate or litigate. I guess you don't have to relitigate. Whatever the word is, right? That
great word.
In a year,
you must be using it a lot. You can't even remember it.
Yeah, well, I played a decade in the league. You know? I mean, what am I going to say? So can I use that excuse of, like, I watched football for a decade?
The Long Island Athletic League?
I'm not from Long Island, but okay.
Staten Island. What should I have gone with there instead?
No, we're good. The point is, Jason and I are on the same page. Let's hope Jordan Love becomes the greatest quarterback ever this year. If he has a good season and not a great season, we start wondering, is he worth it after this season? Mm-hmm. And by the way, that wonder may just sit back and say, you know what? Yeah, he actually is, because 30 touchdowns, 12 picks, and 11 wins, and a playoff win. All right, yeah, keep it going. Cool. Then we're done.
Yep.
But like, nobody in Kansas City is like, you sure, Mahomes, this is worth it? Like, nobody in Buffalo is asking it. Nobody in Baltimore is asking it, right? They're not asking,
correct.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
That's it. It's just the ask, are we sure? That's it. All right, we're good?
We're great. Thanks for stopping by the Peach Pit.
See you guys.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike with a detailed breakdown of why Trey Hendrickson and T.J. Watt and Terry McLaurin are not showing up for the mandatory minicamp. I did not get clarification during that conversation. I know that's surprising. So did those guys report and not participate, or are they not even there? I think they're not even there, which makes them finable. I'll double-check that fact, and we'll discuss it.
I think it's $103,000 for missing the 103. I think it's over $100K.
We'll fact-check that and discuss it briefly before I have to get out the door to Lambeau Field for minicamp. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. We're in a new era of college athletics as last Friday a $2.8 billion settlement was approved in the House versus NCAA case. This allows schools to directly pay their student athletes for the first time ever. Here's Wisconsin AD Chris McIntosh on what this could mean for the Badgers.
I am very excited about the prospects for Wisconsin in a post-settlement world. We've spent a lot of time to do everything we can to build a structure that, gives everyone a more level playing field.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Celebrate the red, white, and blue at the Bridges. On Sunday, June 29th, play a 2-person scramble for just $120 per person, including 18 holes with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from Mr. Irrelevant, and we are hitting the road. Friday, June 13th, spooky. We're heading to Door County Distillery in Carlsville. If you're spending the weekend in Door County, come check out Door County Distillery and hang out with us from noon until 2. That's Friday, June 13th at Door County Distillery in Carlsville. But even if you're not heading to Door County anytime soon, you can bring Door County to you with their cherry brandy for your old fashions infused with Door County cherries, whiskeys, rums, and plenty more. Check them out, doorcountydistillery.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I'm not afraid of getting older. I will escape from dying young. I see the light and go past my shoulder.
All right, I gotta get out the door. Practice starts at 10:30. Quick update on some of the players that are not in attendance. We learned yesterday that Elton Jenkins did report to the Packers minicamp. Whether he actually does anything, we'll find out here in a few minutes. No Jonnu Smith or Jalen Ramsey at Dolphins minicamp, so they're not there. Trey Hendrickson, it appears might be there but not participating. Bills running back James Cook is in attendance at their minicamp. Terry McLaurin of the Commanders is not. No, it looks like Trey Hendrickson nor T.J. Watt is actually attending their mandatory minicamp, so both those guys staying away. And as Tausch mentioned, $104,768 if you miss all 3 days of the mandatory minicamp. A lot of putts.
A lot of mulligans.
And a lot of different topics on Bucks Plus Audio Network and the Behind the Bucks podcast. There you can find the stories of Bucks and Six and Brandon Jennings, Damian Lillard and how he got to the Bucks, the Olympic dreams of Bucks players who played in the Olympics, and, of course, behind the scenes of the Emmy-winning documentary about Giannis's life that was detailed a few months ago. All of that talked about on the Behind the Bucks podcast. You can find Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Tausch and Jesse are going to take over for a little while as I make the trip over to Lambeau Field. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Mandatory minicamp kicks off today for the Green Bay Packers in Titletown. Of course, one of the players who will not be there, Jaire Alexander, officially released yesterday by the team after 7 seasons in Green Bay. Plenty more on that from ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky. Check it out over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Elton Jenkins is in attendance at mandatory minicamp. More insights and observations to come on Wilde and Tausch, with Jason Wilde hosting, sharing his insights and observations from the sidelines of Green Bay Packers mandatory minicamp practice. Other news and notes from around the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers reporting for their mandatory minicamp today with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, without former Badger T.J. Watt on the defensive side of the ball. Trey Hendrickson also not reporting with the Cincinnati Bengals. Baseball, the Brewers fall 7-1 to the Braves last night in the first of 3 at American Family Field. The two teams back at it tonight, 6:40 first pitch. Pre-game coverage starts after Jim, Matt, and Molly at 6 o'clock right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. No Jason Wilde for the time being. One of the bummers that they're doing all this renovation work at Lambeau Field is that he's not able to host the show from there, to make it just one quick segment where he's over on the sidelines whenever he's on his way over to training camp, mini camp, so a little extra time away for Jason. He will rejoin us at 10:30, which is the time that Packers mandatory mini camp practice is set to get underway up in Green Bay. We're going to hear from Jason catching up with Jordan Love at the American Family Insurance Championship on Friday afternoon. His exclusive one-on-one conversation.
Exclusive?
Yeah, it was a big deal. Made the rounds. Ian Rappaport, I saw, tweeted us, among many others, sharing the conversation that they had. It was Jordan Love's first time talking since Aaron Rodgers officially joined the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. First, Tausch, I did ask Jason this question over the weekend. I was hosting the shows all weekend long at the AmFam Championship. He joined both of them on Saturday and Sunday. Yep, big work week for me. You know that.
Put a lot of hours in last week.
What can we learn about the 2025 Green Bay Packers at mandatory minicamp this week, if anything?
I think you can get a better understanding of kind of where they're thinking they're going to start training camp with their wide receivers. I think you can get a better understanding of what they're thinking offensive line-wise. But, in the grand scheme of things, this is just getting guys back into it. This isn't going to be, they're important things to be at, to be a part of your team, and to start building all of those connections to give your team that best opportunity to come together faster. Because, there's 17 games and there's a long training camp. But these mandatory mini camps, this gives you your first glimpse. You got the OTAs, but this gives you the first glimpse if there are guys that are unhappy. They're going to be there, they're not going to be there. And you get the idea of where coaches see guys fitting and see how they're going to go into training camp in competition. And with an offensive line that Adam Stenavich brought, basically said there's 3 job openings that are wide open. Whether or not that's accurate, we'll find out. But it's just the beginning of this process of going through a regular season. This is kind of the first glimpse and the first look at what that's going to look like.
Minicamp practice kicks off at the bottom of the hour. Jason will rejoin us in a couple of segments. First, let's take this opportunity for those of you who did not see this. So Friday afternoon, we hosted our show at the AmFam Championship, day 1 on Friday. Jordan Love was in attendance. I saw, Tausch, you had a chance to catch up with the quarterback, Coors Light in hand for yourself. That was a nice picture that we saw make the rounds on social media. And then Jason also had a chance to catch up with Jordan Love. He did a little press conference in the media center. Jason was able to pull him aside afterward. And here, if you did not have a chance to hear it yet, is the 2 minutes and 30 seconds of Jason Wilde catching up with Green Bay Packers quarterback Jordan Love.
So you saw the news yesterday, obviously. Yes. Mm-hmm. What was the first thought that went through your mind?
I was excited for A-Rod. I don't think I was too surprised. I feel like there was a lot of rumors going on throughout the whole offseason about him going to the Steelers. So, I was excited for him that he was obviously coming back, going to be playing. There's also rumors that he might be done. So, just knowing he's going to keep playing, that's pretty awesome.
So, we've talked before about how crazy 2008 was with the transition. Mm-hmm. The way he left, Tausch and I were talking about it today, it did make it a hell of a lot easier on you than Favre did on him. Mm-hmm. How much did that, I don't want to say mean to you, but it really did kind of help you hit the ground running and not have to deal with controversy and people booing you? And was that valuable? Do you look back on that with appreciation, or how do you view that?
No, 100%. No, I appreciate definitely the way A-Rod just handled being in that situation. And I think a big part of it was what she told me was, he knows kind of how it was for him being in the same position and things that he went through and just the way the situation might have been handled. And I think his perspective was, I'm trying to go about this a little bit differently, which I think was awesome. And I think in my time with A-Rod, we had a great relationship. It was awesome being in the room with him, be able to learn, and he was amazing with everything. And, I definitely appreciate the way he handled everything on the outside with obviously leaving and me taking over and things like that. And I think he's been great, very supportive of me, and definitely helped, with some of the negativity and things like that might come with that. But I think A-Rod handled like a pro and did me very, very right.
But that's how it was privately with you too. Like he actually did help you,
100%,
right?
yeah.
And that was not what he experienced. You think that was a motivation for him not to put you in the same situation he was?
Definitely, I think a lot of that was. He's been through the very same situation I was in, and he knows what it feels like to be in that situation. So I think that's a testament to his character and the way he treats people. He was trying to go about it differently than it was for him, and I was grateful for that.
So last thing about him, the 26th of October, I was obviously here in 09 for Brett.
Yep.
What's it going to be like for you think, to be on the same field with him?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to be on different sides, meeting up, and I know we'll talk pregame and things like that, and hopefully we can exchange jerseys after.
There it is. Jason Wilde with Jordan Love at the AmFam Championship on Friday afternoon. Tausch, what'd you think?
I thought it was insightful. Obviously, that first reaction to something that I think most of us thought was going to happen. But I just keep coming back to the points that we talked about. I guess it was on Friday. And that is, when you're making that transition from one star quarterback to another and how that played out, it's really difficult on a fan base, on an organization. And I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers did this deliberately and intentionally, because I think in his heart of hearts he would have, looking back at it, I think he probably would have loved to have just kept playing in Green Bay. Maybe he'll disagree with me on that, but I'm guessing when he comes back and retires and is a Hall of Famer and all that stuff, he did such a solid by his approach, and he ended up taking on all of the shrapnel, and I don't think that was intentional. I think that's just the way he went about his business and how he carried himself and handled himself to bring this fan base to a point where it was, I would say, close to 100%. We're ready to make this move and give the keys over to this young player who has not done anything really in this league, is such a service to Jordan, and it made his life that much easier, because this scenario was always going to be difficult, and it was, and you saw Jordan go through a lot of stuff. But I do think Aaron Rodgers did, whether it was intentional or not, he made Jordan Love's life a heck of a lot easier to make that monster move from being a first-round pick to being the starting quarterback for the G&G. And to be able to unify a fan base the way the Packers and Jordan Love did because of Aaron Rodgers made this transition that much easier, and Aaron was not afforded that same luxury. And to Aaron's credit, he found a way and was able to do it. Jordan Love had his path was a lot less resistant. You didn't have the Jesse Nelsons buying Jets jerseys of Aaron Rodgers and booing the quarterback for the G&G. None of that was in play, and I think Jordan Love appreciates and is thoroughly, enjoyed that is how that process unfolded, and I think he is very thankful that is the way it played out.
If you missed any of that conversation or you want to listen to it again, it is available on the Wilde and Tausch social media platforms on Twitter and Facebook. You can find it there. It's also available on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Subscribe to the Green and Gold Fix podcast, where you can find all the best Packers conversation from ESPN Wisconsin on the Green and Gold Fix podcast on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Jason Wilde with Jordan
Love is he is just, and again, I don't know Jordan Love great, but he is even-keeled.
Yeah.
I will be really curious. How many times have we seen him show a ton of emotion on the sideline? How many times have we seen him? He hasn't fired a tablet yet. He has not screamed at his receivers, and I'm not saying he should. But just the way he handled this, and again, I wasn't expecting him to be super demonstrative in his little spot here with Jason, but it just sounds so cool, like just easy. You're not seeing all, and I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm not saying either way. I liked even keel, but there are times you got to let it rip too. I'm going to be really curious because that game is going to be hypercharged. Obviously, the opener against Detroit will be too, for different reasons. But the emotional side of football, there is, I think, a faucet that you have to, you want to keep it a nice, steady flow. And then there's sometimes you need to shut it off. It gets cold out, whatnot. I do want to see some times where we open that baby up and let it go. I think that Pittsburgh game is going to be one of those games. I think that's going to be and I think his last time he played Pittsburgh was one of those cases where I think Matt LaFleur got a lot out of that. And he let it rip. And that really was the start of the Jordan Love that we've seen now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all comes together. I'm sure we'll talk more with Jason about this when he rejoins the show from Packers mandatory minicamp practice, which does get started in just a little bit. Jason will rejoin the show shortly, but before he does, it is time for us to play Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Vortex Golf. Tausch, you are the brand new owner of a Vortex rangefinder of your own. This week on the show, yep, congratulations on your asterisk championship yesterday afternoon. Someone will win this contest legitimately this week, the final week of Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Vortex Golf, in which we have a rangefinder to give away. So you're going to want to get in if you've been thinking about it. Caller number 13, lucky 13 today at 844-770-3776 for Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Vortex Golf. Why caller 13, you may ask? Today's category, as requested by one Mark Tauscher. Do you remember what you requested yesterday?
Canadian trivia?
Canadian geography is today's trivia category. Canadian geography. Caller 13 in honor of the 13
Manitoba
provinces or territories. Caller 13, 844-770-3776. Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Vortex Golf. Canadian geography. We'll play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, we'll get you ready for a huge Game 3. The series is tied at 1 apiece, but is it actually a must-win for the Pacers? It's Unsportsmanlike 6 a.m. Eastern right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time.
At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Atlanta Braves.
Durbin, a drive, left center, deep, see you later! Caleb Durbin, turn out the lights!
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Wilde and Tausch back with you. Jason getting situated at Packers mandatory minicamp, where he'll share insights and observations throughout the remainder of the show. Jesse and Tausch for the time being, and it is time to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Vortex Golf.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
Today's contestant, someone who played last week and did not win. Back on the horse for another go, Matt in West Bend. Matt, welcome to Wilde and Tausch Trivia. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, guys.
Any thoughts or opinions on Tausch cheating his way to a Vortex prize pack championship during his charity outing yesterday?
You got to get the Vortex any way you can. I'll take it.
Matt willing to cheat his way to a championship. That will not be allowed under the official contest
please
rules.
Stop saying that it was cheating. In your mind, you could say that was not cheating at all.
According to some, this championship yesterday for Old T and his pals comes with an asterisk. 13 mulligans, used mostly for putts.
I literally, outside of you and Jason, have heard no one else say that.
We have been ridiculed for those who seem to be more familiar with the situation. So take that for what it's worth. Canadian geography is today's category for Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Vortex Golf. Tausch, you want to play along? I assume that's the whole point of why we're doing this.
I do, and I will be very disappointed if Manitoba is not one of the answers.
Why? You just like Manitoba? You like saying Manitoba? Like,
it's a fun word to say.
Okay.
Yes, and it's, I believe, a province. So let's get it going.
Matt in West Bend, question number 1. Toronto, Ottawa, and Hamilton are all major Canadian cities located in which province? Ontario, British Columbia, or the French Quarter?
Ontario.
Tausch?
No, I'm going to agree.
Yeah, okay. I'll assume you're going to agree unless you say otherwise. I think that's probably best here. You are correct, Matt. Ontario is where you can find those 3 cities. Question number 2. Latitudinally. Which of these Canadian provinces or territories extends farthest north? Is it Alberta, Nunavut, or Nova Scotia?
B, none of it.
Oh, Tausch is hesitating.
I'm going to say Nova Scotia.
Matt is correct.
Atta baby, Matt.
None of it. Which is also very fun to say. That is the province or territory that extends the farthest north in Canada. A chance for a perfect day and a chance to continue a perfect week for Matt in West Bend with question number 3. By population, according to the 2024 census, which of these Canadian hockey cities is the largest? Manitoba, I regret to inform you, Tausch, is not one of the options.
Oh.
Sorry. By population, which of these Canadian hockey cities is the largest? Calgary, Edmonton, or Winnipeg?
Oh, boy. Calgary.
Matt says Calgary. Old T?
Winnipeg.
One of you is correct. And it's Matt. Calgary, the 4th largest city by population in Canada. Can you name the 3 in front of it? I bet you can.
Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver.
Nailed it. Followed by, in order, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, and Winnipeg. Those are your top 7. Nicely done, Matt. A perfect 3 for 3 in Canadian geography, which means you have all 4
No mulligans
entries.
needed for Matt either.
Didn't even need a mulligan to try and win his way to a chip later this week in our drawing for the Vortex swag bag, including a rangefinder for the final time with our friends from Vortex Golf. Matt, thank you so much for playing. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys. Love you.
All right. Love you guys.
Matt in West Bend. We're big in West Bend. He is our contestant for Wilde and Tausch Trivia, once again presented by Vortex Golf Rangefinders. You can bet on Jason Wilde joining us from the sideline, sharing his insights and observations as Packers mandatory minicamp kicks off here on this Tuesday morning in Titletown. Jason Wilde rejoins the show. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit MapleHillGolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. On Wednesday, June 18th, we're taking Wilde and Tausch back on the road down I-90 to Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Stop by and check out the new location featuring over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space. That includes more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, and a rock shop. Join us on Wednesday, June 18th from 9 to noon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. Let's Hard Rock.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 17th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there's
she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in June 17th at 7:05 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
The ESPN Madison Open presented by Coors Light is back. On Monday, August 4th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing their bags and teeing off at TPC Wisconsin for a day on the links. This year's Open is benefiting Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit based right here in Madison dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. ESPN Madison Open also brought to you by Badgerland Exteriors, Annex Wealth Management, Sunday Paper, Incredible Bank, Vorikov Osman LLC, and Retirement Income Strategies.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
The Packers mandatory minicamp day one is underway inside, well, the stretching part of it is anyway, inside the Don Hudson Center. They will move outside to Ray Nitschke Field for the remainder of practice. I am searching high and low for guys who may or may not be here. I do not see Elton Jenkins yet, but again, reportedly he did report to mandatory minicamp. We'll see how much he does and how long it takes me to locate big number 74.
You ain't going to be doing anything.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. He may be, my vision is not what it used to be. He may be over on the elliptical or on the recumbent bikes. Get a little slow ride in.
Jason, what happens? What happens if he comes? He's there because you don't want to get fined. I mean, he's Marshawn
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Indeed.
What if they say, "No, put your helmet on. You're going to be center today"?
Well, he could also be left guard because it appears Aaron Banks is not participating. He's over there by the bikes, etc., along with Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur not on a bike, though. He's just standing chatting right now. But
okay.
But no Aaron Banks today either, it would appear, for the first
probably a
practice of
Veterans Day off.
You think so? We're already doing vet days off?
I have no clue.
That would be a lot. They've worked them very hard, so far this off season. I am curious to see, as I have pointed out before, and I do not want to sound unappreciative of the PR staff's efforts to get us players, the 2 OTA practices, but because they're still renovating the home locker room. We are not inside the locker room for interviews. They bring us selected players. Keyshawn Nixon leading the way as they run their sprints, by the way. That's taking on the role of CB1, of course. But Tausch, I don't know who's going to be available to us today. Keyshawn talked last week, and now obviously that corner group is one of the things that we're going to be really, really, really interested in terms of how it shakes out and how effective this group will be now that it is official that Jaire Alexander is no longer a member of this team. And so, Keyshawn did proclaim himself CB1 at locker room cleanout, and now he's going to have every opportunity to be that. What are your expectations there, at least as of now, as we sort of start this process of officially being without Jaire Alexander on the roster?
It'll be him, and it'll be Valentine, it'll be Hobbs, and then I think the question mark is going to be, what do you do with that safety group? Xavier McKinney's going to be where he's going to be, and I think Evan Williams would be opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
Then it comes down to Bullard. Is there a Kaling? Is somebody else going to emerge? What are they going to do? Micah Robinson's a 7th-round pick. I would think, unless there's an injury or he really pops, I would think he'll be kind of one of those guys, special teams, and then you kind of work your way and hopefully earn some opportunities. But this is your group as we sit here today. Now, there are guys out there. There are going to be some players that will be available. What that might look like, it's not going to be markedly different than what we thought prior to Jaire. So this is the group. And by the way, Jaire missed a lot of games last year.
Mm-hmm.
He did. And you picked up Hobbs. I think the big question mark, you know who Keyshawn Nixon is. You're getting a better understanding. And I think Valentine, you said it. They asked him to do things. He keeps doing what they're asking. I wouldn't be shocked if he takes a big jump if he ends up being DB1. I don't think that's either. I don't think that's crazy talk. We'll see, obviously, but they like him. And just because he's a late-round pick doesn't mean he can't be DB1. Tremont Williams wasn't in the league. He was on practice squads. Tell you something. Pretty doggone good DB1 back in the day. So there's a process that you go through, and I know everybody wants instant mashed potatoes. I want it done now. Tastes a heck of a lot better when you actually go through the process, and that's a hard thing to go about, and let kind of mature. But a lot of guys need that. Not everybody's a first-round pick that is just so uber talented they can go play and do it right away. That's just not the reality. And Green Bay, while they've spent picks on first and second-round corners, they have not worked out. And that's how you get left in a position where you have a 7th-round pick and where you have a guy that's predominantly as a kick returner elevated and given themselves opportunities to do it. And it's mainly, this wasn't the plan when you drafted Stokes. I think the plan was, we're going to let this thing ride with Jaire and Stokey for a while. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that while didn't really ever come to fruition.
What is there something to be said? And I know Mark Murphy said this to Channel 2 up here in Green Bay yesterday at some sort of golf event. Is there something to be said for having experience of playing without Jaire, like having done it as much as they have? Is there value in that?
Well, there's value in guys getting experience and growing and understanding what it's going to take to play. And how you prepare and how you go about your business. You paid Jaire and you wanted him to play a heck of a lot more than he did over the last 3 or 4 seasons. But if you're looking for silver linings in this, the silver lining is that Keyshawn Nixon got a heck of a lot more reps running where he is because Jaire was gone, and the same thing with Valentine.
Right.
So that there is that. You hope that translates into somebody emerging as that next guy. But do I think that either of these players are going to be – who's the number one shutdown corner in the league right now? Who would be that guy?
Patrick Surtain.
Okay, from Denver.
That's
a good one.
Are you going to have a Patrick Surtain? I don't think so. I don't think these guys are that. Do you need it? No. Certainly would be nice. And I think it makes your defensive coordinating a lot easier if you have a guy that man, I feel good. Go. Let him do his thing, and we'll figure the rest of it out. And I think for a stretch we felt that way about Jaire. And I saw an interesting stat, and I think it was from the 2020 season. Somebody, I apologize for my non-recognizable Twitter, but they went through the list of wide receivers in 2020 that Jaire covered. And I'm talking, it was a murderer's row of wideouts, and there was nothing. The production was nothing. And I don't envision that being the case with this group as it's currently constituted.
And we still don't know, as I was talking about with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, we still don't know exactly what Nate Hobbs is, right? We know that they paid him. But like you always point out, he is physical, yes, based on the 2 games of him that I watched. But as you always point out, this is a league where you have to prove yourself constantly. He was a 5th-round pick. He wasn't a 1st-round pick like Jaire, so he has to prove himself there. And, whether you think he's an inside guy, an outside guy, his contract, like you always say, the way they do this here now, it's basically a 2-year deal. Like, it's not like he got some sort of blockbuster deal that ensures that he's going to be CB1 and be that for the next 4 years. So we don't know what exactly he is at this point either.
Yeah, Jason, that contract doesn't tell me that they're expecting him to be DB1. I think they're expecting someone else. I think they're looking at him as a slot guy that can potentially be a 2. Maybe he could be a 1 if everything strikes right and he stays healthy and, he brings that physical play to this defense. You never know. But the contract, money talks and tells you. The money would tell you that they look at him as a 2nd or 3rd corner at best. That's what that contract – and they can get out of it after a year. I mean, it's not – it would sting a little bit, but this is one of those – and we're going to take a flyer on somebody we feel is pretty doggone good. And if things in this system, we can get some really good production out of him, we're going to be happy with that. I would guess that this is going to be a position that Green Bay will keep their eyes wide open if there's someone that they feel can come in that room and elevate the rest of their play. But I think they did their, everybody was talking about, the room, and they need to go do something. I heard, KBN yesterday talking, or I saw a clip on Twitter of, I think it was Kyle talking about Goody doesn't want to chase a championship because he didn't do it. Guys, nobody expected Jaire back. They knew what they were doing. That's why they picked up Hobbs.
Correct.
And you can argue and say, well, they didn't do enough. As I said yesterday, we'll find out. We'll find out if they did enough. It's definitely a point, but to say that Goody's not chasing a championship, now, again, that $46 million in cap space that's sitting there, that, to me, is the intriguing part of this. What is their plan? And it tells me that Zach Tom and Quay Walker are more than likely the 2 guys that I think you're going to end up seeing getting at some point. And I don't know if they've changed their philosophy. That seems like it's going to be either a preseason before camp starts or in-season contract extension guys to use that money for that, because it's right. Everybody thinks, well, that money, you got to go spend it. You should, but that doesn't mean you can't procure talent and keep those guys off the market so that your free agency class isn't going to be, especially with all of these young players that you're going to either evaluate and see if you want to pay or you want to pay. You want to put that money, you don't want to be putting everything on layaway. Go purchase something. Bring it in, and let's get it working.
I got to say, I'm standing here, and Tucker Kraft and Dontavion Wicks are playing catch. I don't want to give away any fake play or trick plays that they might run, but those 2 guys can throw the football now. Like, they're throwing it 40 yards back and forth to each other. Perfect spirals on target. Dontavion Wicks,
Tucker
left-handed,
Kraft
by the way. Well, he did. I think it was 8 or 9-man football. He certainly ran the ball a lot during his time playing high school football in South Dakota. But yeah, he can sling it, and so can Dontavion Wicks. It's impressive.
And he's played quarterback, I think, 8 or 9 times already at the NFL level.
This is what I'm driving at, is that instead of a tuck keeper or whatever they're going to call their version of that.
You don't want to stay down on the sidelines, do you?
Just saying, might not be a bad idea. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. What I am saying is that Kohler Services has been a great partner of ours for a very long time. I don't know when the renovation is for that ugly bathroom, but man, what a great promotion that was, and you did such a great job with it.
Oh, I can't wait to hopefully I'm going to be able to get down there and take a maul and just beat that thing down so we can get that new Kohler Lugstone shower in our winner's new bathroom. And if you're looking to get a new bathroom or update your shower, our friends at Kohler Services has an offer for you. Family-owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, get 0% financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com. Jason, has our boy Banksy spoken to you guys yet?
He did. He spoke last week.
Okay,
I wrote about him Channel 3000. Sorry you missed that. So, no, I don't think he'll be available today. Elton Jenkins, I can confirm, is here. He is on a bike. He's not even wearing his number 74 jersey, so that's why it was hard to find him. He is wearing a hoodie, which I'm partial to, but he is here. He is not taking part. The stretch and the special teams periods have been completed. We're going to get to some quasi real football here coming up. There's somebody that I
Jason,
cannot...
I'll tell you this as you're getting situated.
I'm situated,
The fact that you just said that, and we heard this report earlier, but the fact that Elton Jenkins is here for the mandatory minicamp, I do declare.
Are you teasing us out?
Yeah. Do you have another read, or can I tease
out?
Nope,
go right ahead. Yeah, I just want to.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for interrupting as I had a great flow going with my tease. The fact that Elton Jenkins is here in Green Bay in June, on the 10th of June, for this mandatory minicamp is a great sign. A great sign. I will tell you why I believe that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Atlanta Braves.
Durbin, a drive, left center, deep, see you later! Caleb Durbin, turn out the lights!
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Their Memorial Day sale has been extended. Last chance to save 10% off store-wide and take advantage of Steinhoffels' 18-month 0% financing only at Steinhoffels.
We're in a new era of college athletics as last Friday a $2.8 billion settlement was approved in the House versus NCAA case. This allows schools to directly pay their student-athletes for the first time ever. Here's Wisconsin AD Chris McIntosh on what this could mean for the Badgers.
I am very excited about the prospects for Wisconsin in a post-settlement world. We've spent a lot of time to do everything we can to build a structure that, gives everyone a more level playing field.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordofMadison.com. That's MetroFordofMadison.com.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more. It's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, DoorCountyDistillery.com. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com.
This fall, build your perfect Wisconsin football game day with a mini pack. Pick any 3 games, including Big Ten matchups like Washington, Iowa, and Ohio State, and save while cheering on the Badgers. Big matchups, big moments, and it's all on your schedule. Football mini packs are available now. Create your custom game day experience today at uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. First touchdown to the 5th quarter. There's always something to enjoy. Football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, we'll get you ready for a huge Game 3. The series is tied at 1 apiece, but is it actually a must-win for the Pacers? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Packers continuing their on-field drill work at the first of 3 days of mandatory minicamp. Kalen King has a cast on his right arm. That's not super helpful for a guy who's got a chance to break into the rotation at corner.
It's going to happen. Now is the time.
That's a good point. Now is also the time for Tausch to pay off his tease, having told us that the fact that Elton Jenkins is here is a very good sign. I'm eager to know why, because we were just talking about how it's a I'm just here so I don't get fined situation. So tell us more, old prescient one.
So we obviously knew, and Jason, we on this show a while ago kind of talked that Elton Jenkins was unhappy, or that he wanted some guarantees, and he should, as his contract doesn't have any left and moving a new position. So it's a money thing, and Elton's been a really good pro for this team. He has been as versatile of a lineman as anybody I can remember. He's played everywhere. He's played them at high levels, and the Packers are asking him to move spots at the back end of his career where they make less money, and he is openly and happily going to do it. So this thing could have gotten super contentious like it is in Cincy with Hendrickson. I don't know the Watt scenario, but he is not there. And when you are under contract and don't report, there's $104,000 reasons to report. But I think the moment you don't report, all of a sudden there is a bigger fracture and there's no communication. Here, Elton is kind of putting an olive branch out. Now, is it a $104,000 olive branch? Yes. I am not trying to diminish that the money is a big part of this. But he could have easily done that and then said, whatever new deal I get, I'm getting $104K more back in it, or I'm not playing. So that part of it. But what I like about this, it means the lines of communication are open. It means Elton Jenkins wants to be here. He wants things to get worked out. And he is in good faith, even though he's not practicing, coming in the building. He flew in, he's doing it, and I know if you could sit out here and say, it's his job, and he's undercut. No, he doesn't have to. I think him coming up here today is a great sign that communication and that this thing is going to get itself worked out, and it will be worked out before the mandatory training camp report date comes. This was a good sign. I think had he not come, that tells me things are a lot more contentious, and not saying I am not a reporter. I am not Ben Brust. I am not Jason Wilde. What I am saying is this is a good omen that something will get done. I'm not saying it's imminent, but this just being here today on June 10th is a great sign that both parties understand the scenario and something will get worked out.
So he's not giving away whatever small leverage he has of withholding his services. That's what you're saying.
No, well, he's not. Is he out there practicing, Jason?
He is not.
So are his services being withheld?
Well, his services are being utilized on a stationary bike. No,
would that stationary bike still be there? Would that stationary bike still be there if he wasn't there?
Yeah, I'm guessing Quay Walker would be using it instead. He's not practicing either.
No,
so you're right.
Services are being withheld, but I think this is.
But he's not being fined.
Organizations, he's not getting fined, but I think the organization looks at this in a very positive light that he's here. And while it's not ideal, it is much better than if he's not here.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I hope. And I guess my final question on this before we put a bow on it and get to the 11 o'clock hour is, how confident are you if he's doing this and it's a show of good faith and an avoidance of a $104,000 fine, that the Packers will do right by him and sweeten his contract? Because in theory, they certainly have the ability to play hardball and say, no, we're gonna leave the contract the way it is, because we want to be able to have the flexibility to release you after this season when you have a balloon payment of a larger base salary for 2026. And we might want to go with Jacob Monk, or we might want to move somebody else, Zach Tom to center, or whatever it might be. How confident are you that by doing the right thing, by reporting, even if he's not participating, that now the Packers will do the right thing and sweeten his deal for him?
I am very confident that Green Bay will adjust his contract. Is it going to be as sweet as Elton and his team want? No. But I think it would be such an indictment on the Packer way if they didn't figure something out, and they have to go into what we've all already said is a critical game one to reset the mindset of where we're at, that the Detroit Blanken Lions are the kings of the North, and you're going to not figure out a way to get your starting center that you moved in the building to play in that game. That would be bad news. That is stuff that organizations that aren't as quality as the Packers do. Now, I'm not saying give them everything, but I'm saying find a solution that you can still, if you need to get out of it, you can, but give Elton at least something to make him feel like I am ready to go play football for this operation. And if that is not the case and they can't figure something out, and they have to start a young guy that they wouldn't even put in the game in Philly 6 months ago, 7 months ago, that would be a shame on us operation if that's how this plays out. And I don't think it will.
Well, once they do take care of him, I'm sure he will crack open a celebratory Coors Light.
Man, we cracked open a celebratory championship Coors Light last night after a big win. And whether you're tailgating pregame, enjoying your experience during the game, celebrating a big win after the game, or you just need a moment to chill and crack open that Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged. So it is actually made to chill and make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. The IndyCar XPEL comes to Road America June 19th through the 22nd. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. Mandatory minicamp is underway. Practice ongoing right now in Green Bay for the Packers. Of course, one of the players not there, Jaire Alexander, officially released by the team after 7 seasons in Green Bay yesterday. Plenty more on that from ESPN Packers reporter Rob Domofsky over at ESPNWisconsin.com. A player that is in the building, Elton Jenkins, has reported to camps, currently on the stationary bike. Jason Wilde hosting the show live from Green Bay with insights and observations of Packers mandatory minicamp, continuing next on Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Meanwhile, baseball, the Brewers fall 7-1 to the Atlanta Braves last night at American Family Field in the first of their 3-game set. Game 2 of the series tonight, 6:40. First pitch. Pregame coverage starts just after 6 o'clock, following Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And Tausch, one of your former line mates, is at practice.
Ooh, okay.
I will give you 3 guesses.
All right.
See if you can determine which one it is. Do you want to ask any questions?
Are you going to give me
ask any
hints?
questions?
Okay. Did this player play with Mike McCarthy as the head coach?
He's coming over to me right now. I'm going to say hello to him. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Your boy says hello. He's on right now. He says hello. Now, who is it?
Okay.
What was your first question?
I just asked
I was
you,
saying
did we
hello
play
to
together
him.
with Mike?
Hey, take it easy. I was saying hello to the guy.
You're yelling
I
at me
couldn't
like,
hear the
tell
question.
me who it is. Okay, chill, B. Let's take a mulligan on this, and let's reset.
We've only got 19 left.
The first question was, did I play with him under Mike McCarthy?
The answer is yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. I think I can. It's down to 2 people for me already. I'm going to say it's Tony Mall.
So, I was going to. How about you take another mulligan? It's not Tony Mall.
Okay. I only get one more guess. All right, I'm going to say.
I was going to give you 3 actually, but what if I told you it is not Jason Spitz either? Sorry. All right. Okay. What if I told you that this is not the kind of guy that you want to give away his starting job on him?
Oh, it's Scooter Wells.
It is Scotty Wells, indeed.
Oh, Scotty.
Sends his warm regards to you.
Let me tell you something. You don't want to get Scotty Wells mad. You don't want Scotty Wells mad.
Since he's here, and we do tell that story fairly regularly on this show, how much do you believe that kind of motivation factors into a guy's success or failure as a player? And how much do you think how much value is there in that, in terms of channeling your anger or prove it mentality into your performance?
I actually think it obviously depends on the dude. Scotty was driven, and you knew he was going to use that and keep that bottled up and tell everybody to blank off. And a lot of guys, it breaks them. And it gives you the aw shucks, this isn't fair. You can have those thoughts. As Eleanor always says, feel your feelings, but then go about and do something about it. And Scotty did that to a really high degree. He could have easily, and we have told this story a lot because it's a great story, and it tells you about resiliency in the fact that he could have went and joined another practice squad and been, this isn't fair, this is, this blah, blah, blah. And instead he's like, I've already put in my time here. I know I'm better. I know that this isn't the right way and this isn't the right answer. I am the right answer. And when I get that next opportunity, I will prove that, and I'll prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Juror number 8. Scotty Wells did that, and I give him a ton of credit because if you just know Scotty, you would think that he would say, blank off, I'm out. But I think he had enough people around and reasonable to say, I am going to go about my business, and I'm going to go back and get this, and he executed it. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for that.
All right. We not only do we need a break, but I need to take a break because Brian Gutenkunst is going to address us here at practice. So, Tausch, I'm going to leave you for a little while.
Okay. Find out what we're doing with that $46 million. Let's find out what that $46 million is going to be doing.
I will do that now.
Gutenator.
More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Want to move better, play faster, and compete at a higher level? Train where Wisconsin's top athletes go. Total Athlete Performance. From middle school phenoms to the pros, TAP is Madison's #1 destination for speed, power, and athleticism. Their proven systems, expert coaches, and cutting-edge equipment help you dominate your sport. Can't make it in? Train anywhere with the TAP mobile app. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Visit tapwisconsin.com to schedule your free athletic assessment today.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Wilde and Tausch back with you, but it's Jesse and Tausch again. Because, surprise, Brian Gutenkunst meeting with the media suddenly at mandatory minicamp up in Green Bay, where Jason is hosting the remainder of the show, so he will rejoin us upon the conclusion of that little press conference. What are you most excited to hear from Goody, Tausch?
What are we doing with that $46 million? What is the plan moving forward? I don't think the Jaire news is going to be anything, it is what it is. I don't think that's going to be anything else. But I thought yesterday when we were having those discussions it's interesting that we have that much cap space left. And is it going to be utilized more in a proactive keeping our guys, which is what I would guess his answer will be, or making a big-time move to one of these players that maybe is a little unhappy with their contract? I will be shocked if they do that. I'll be pleasantly surprised if we go make a big move like that, but it's just not typically how Brian Gutenkunst goes about his business.
While Jason talks with the Packers general manager at Packers Minicamp, we are going to play a round of Take It to the Bank presented by Associated Bank. I was really excited to play, so we'll have to ask Jason to see if we can get him to have an opinion on some of these questions. Because you heard Evan Cohen join us earlier today from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio, weekday mornings starting at 5 a.m. on ESPN Wisconsin. He talked about the conversation that had been brought up when Dan Orlovsky joined about the NFC North quarterback with the most pressure on him entering this season. A couple of pressure-related questions to the NFC North in this round of Take It to the Bank for you, Tausch. First, Take It to the Bank. There's more pressure on Caleb Williams to lead the Chicago Bears to the playoffs this season than there is for J.J. McCarthy to do so in his first season as the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. Take that to the bank?
No, don't take that to the bank. I know J.J. McCarthy has not played. He basically redshirted last year with that injury. The Minnesota Vikings were one game away from being the 1 seed. They had an awesome season. They have more talent than the Bears do. They have a better head coach as we sit here today. I don't know Ben Johnson as a head coach. We haven't seen him. Yeah, he's a great play caller. He did a nice job with Detroit. But I look at Chicago as this is the kind of the beginning of a new era. J.J. McCarthy is the beginning of a new era, but not Kevin O'Connell. There's a standard that's there, and do you think that they believe – I mean, they had a journeyman quarterback on a $10 million a year deal last year almost win the toughest division in football. And they got everybody, and they've actually probably even strengthened their roster outside of that. So I get it. I think the pressure is squarely on J.J. McCarthy, much more so than Caleb. Caleb Williams, if he shows any signs of improvement and the Bears still struggle a little bit, there'll be parades down Michigan Avenue.
But doesn't J.J. McCarthy get kind of a pass in his first, just like Jordan Love did in his first year as a quarterback? Like, there's not a ton of pressure because it's just whatever. If it's great, great. If not, well, it's his first year. He's got to be better next year.
No. You don't get a pass because you have everything lined up and you're a first-round pick and it's your second season. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but they also had a chance of bringing Aaron Rodgers in, and they said, nah, we're good. We like this young fella. That's a little bit of added layer to this whole conversation.
Next up, Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank. NFC North pressure questions. There's more pressure on Jared Goff to win the NFC North with the Lions this year than there is on Jordan Love to lead the Packers to a division title. Tausch?
No, disagree with that one. I disagree with that one, too. Jared Goff is who he is. Good player when things are really set up in a great way. They have new coordinators. They have a center that is no longer playing. I know Green Bay's got a center that's new, and we don't know what his contract situation is yet. But this entire offseason for the Green Bay Packers was built on, we're going to give Jordan Love every resource to be successful that we possibly can. Oh, you want wideouts? Okay. We'll bring a cat in from the Chiefs. We'll bring in the first drafted first-round wide receiver in 23 seasons. We're going to bring in a jet sweep guy. Oh, and by the way, we didn't think our center last year was very good, so we're going to bring in our versatile guy that has been a Pro Bowl player and pay the top free agent guard in the market to come in and be left guard. All so that our offense is going to be better and more consistent under the third year. Oh, and I just read a big article. Aaron Rodgers won a championship in his third year as a starter. Oh, no pressure, Jordan, but that's what we're expecting from you, too. Pressure's on Jordan Love. I really agree with that, and I think he's ready for it. I think he's really ready for it.
Well, if the pressure's on Jordan Love, how do you answer this final question and take it to the bank presented by Associated Bank? Matt LaFleur is the NFC North head coach with the most approved this season. And just so we know what's on the table here, Ben Johnson, first year as a head coach with the Chicago Bears. Kevin O'Connell with the Minnesota Vikings, had a couple of good seasons, fizzled out in the first round of the playoffs last year. Dan Campbell has gotten the Lions into the playoffs the last couple of seasons, highly regarded, but came up short against the Commanders in their first playoff game last year.
I think Dan Campbell has the most approved. I think people have looked at him as a meathead. Dan Campbell's a good coach. I think he's a good leader of men. I think he has done, obviously, he's done a great job in Detroit. But let's not kid ourselves. Everybody up there thinks from an offensive standpoint, and their offense has been a juggernaut up there with Goff and Amon St. Brown and their running game. There ain't anybody giving Dan Campbell the credit for that. That's Ben Johnson. And he had to replace Ben Johnson. So he's hired well. He's built a really good culture. I couldn't respect what Dan Campbell has done more. But Detroit, I think there's a lot of people, myself included. All right, what's next, man? This business is cruel. That's cute. That's great that you've won divisions and you've done this, but your team's window, you're getting old. You're starting to pay everybody. Your window's going to start. We don't have Ben Johnson. You don't have Aaron Glenn. Who are your new coordinators? You're a great leader. You're a really good coach. It's a lot easier being a really good coach when you have a really smart play caller that designs up great stuff. That's great. You know, you're not a great coach when you're not converting on fourth down and you're giving the ball on a 25-yard line to the other team. So I think Matt LaFleur is going to be Matt LaFleur. We'll find out if Dan Campbell and his offense and everything else is going to be the same when you have the amount of change that they've had to deal with. This is a big year for him, too.
Take it to the bank presented by Associated Bank, and you can take it to the bank. Jason Wilde is back. We go back to Green Bay. Hi, Jason.
Hi, guys. Yes, we talked to Goody for about 8 minutes. I am here to tell you that when I asked him if he felt like their offer was fair in terms of how much money he would be paid and how much opportunity he had to earn back money, he wouldn't even say that there was an offer on the table.
Is that right?
And I just sent the audio to our producer's crew. I asked the question kind of toward the end, but and at one point he also said there wasn't nearly as much drama as you might think, or something to that effect. I think as much as there were people that said, "Oh, I had dinner with Matt LaFleur. The Packers are in a good place with Jaire Alexander."
Schrager.
I don't think that there was ever a whole lot of hope here that he was going to be a member of the Packers. He did say in his answer to me about their air quotes offer and about earning back a pay cut. And I believe I got this quote correct. I was trying to remember it as he was talking. They weren't really interested in that. So I think that it was for the Jaire Alexander camp, either pay me what I'm owed or cut me, because I'm not going to take a pay cut to facilitate a trade, and I'm not going to accept a pay cut here, and I'll take my chances with my next team. So there were various reports from various outlets throughout this, but I think Rob Domofsky's reporting from the very beginning, it sure sounded to me like that was right all along. And that all this other stuff about, there's an offer on the table, and he's going to report to the mandatory minicamp and everything else that was out there. I don't know who those sources were, but Brian Gutenkunst sure as heck sounded like this was never something that was ever close to actually happening, that he would return to the Packers. That is my interpretation. We'll, I'm sure, talk about more of it throughout the day as we listen to what Goody actually said, but he did not sound like someone who ever had his quote-unquote hopes up that Jaire Alexander was going to be here. That's my interpretation of that conversation. We'll talk a little bit more about that and more about Packers minicamp, where one prominent player, someone that I have a very high opinion of, is playing a new position out here. We'll talk about that, but I can always talk about Associated Bank no matter where I am. Drove by several branches on my way to Lambeau Field today, because that's what makes a bank local. Their roots in the community, no matter how many branches they may have. And Associated Bank is a proud Wisconsin bank. Started right here in Green Bay, same time as the Packers. They were there when the Packers were born. They've got Packers checking, they've got Badgers checking, they've got Brewers checking, but more importantly, they've got the best customer service in the industry. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more about all the awards they've won and why you should make the switch. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going. Lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the executive director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
You love choices.
Like your choices with a Sweeto metal roof.
Choose standing seam or high-profile steel shingles that come in a variety of styles that last a lifetime.
Put a Sweeto metal roof on and take the worry off with choices.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweeto. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweeto metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Play where the Badgers play and enjoy a round at University Ridge Golf Course, the official course of the University of Wisconsin. It's easy to see why University Ridge is consistently rated one of the best public courses in Wisconsin, winning awards every year since 1992. Whether it's a tournament, corporate event, or just a golf outing with family and friends, University Ridge Golf Course will make sure you have an enjoyable golf experience from start to finish. Book your tee time today at universityridge.com. That's universityridge.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This fall, build your perfect Wisconsin football game day with a mini pack. Pick any 3 games, including Big Ten matchups like Washington, Iowa, and Ohio State, and save while cheering on the Badgers. Big matchups, big moments, and it's all on your schedule. Football mini packs are available now. Create your custom game day experience today at uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. First touchdown to the fifth quarter. There's always something to enjoy. Football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. On Wednesday, June 18th, we're taking Wilde and Tausch back on the road down I-90 to Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Stop by and check out the new location featuring over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space. That includes more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, and a rock shop. Join us on Wednesday, June 18th from 9 to noon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. Let's Hard Rock.
The Thunder respond and tie the Pacers at 1. Now the series shifts to Indianapolis. Game 3 of the Pacers and Thunder. Coverage begins Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern with tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
'Cause I'm a hazard to myself.
We'll hear from Brian Gutenkunst momentarily after our conversation with him, but I did want to share this tidbit. Now, you love guys that'll do whatever it takes for the team, right? Those are the guys you want on your team.
Yeah.
Bo Melton playing corner today, but he is also on the first snap of 11-on-11 at wide receiver. So he is not fully converting to corner, but he is adding corner to his repertoire. Apparently, the Packers version of Travis Hunter, Brian Gutenkunst explaining that the coaches talked about it. Obviously, they have a lot of wide receivers on this roster, but having seen what he's able to do on special teams, his brother is a corner in the league, Max. They decided to experiment with this today. So Bo is in with the number one offense at wide receiver. It looks like this might be a run period, which would explain why he and Malik were in there. Now it's Dontavion Wicks and Bo that are out there. But Bo Melton, your new two-way player for the Green Bay Packers. What do you think of that?
I think guys need to find a role that can put them in that where you dress on Sundays. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I think back to Travis Hunter's obviously because of the draft and what he was able to do at Colorado. But I think back, and I think his name Troy Brown, a special teams wide receiver for the New England Patriots in that early era of championships in the mid-2000s. He was somebody that I think they called upon and said, make sure you know and understand how to play corner. Now, you don't want him going out there, and I'm certain they don't want Bo Melton lining up on Amon St. Brown on week 1.
Like
but you don't want to be stuck in a spot where he doesn't know. And now this is the perfect time to be doing that. And I think we all looked at that wide receiver list with the new draft picks and everything else and saying, boy, it's going to be tough for the Bo Meltons and the Heaths and some of these guys to make the roster. Well, we always had an old saying, the more you can do. If you end up bringing, like Craig Nall when he joined us, he brought that sausage bread. And he's convinced that sausage bread kept him on the team another year. The more you can do. If you're not a starter, you better be good at making sure that the starter gets the details of a scouting report and sausage bread. That's what it took. The more he could do, he brought it and it worked. So I don't know if this means, he's going to be taking meaningful reps. I know this. It ain't going to hurt him. I was very skeptical when, the quarterback tried to move to be a wideout. Was that last season? I don't remember the kid's name.
Alex McGough.
McLaughlin or McLaughlin or that. I was like, all right, yeah, that's Magoo. It ain't going to work. Bo Melton has played good football for this team. This tells me Brian Gutenkunst wants to keep him on this team. And Matt LaFleur wants to keep him on this team. You need to do more, and you need to have more versatility in order to probably do that. So if I'm Bo Melton, I'm saying, what else you want me to do? You want me to long snap? All right. Hey, I'll try kicking. I will, whatever it takes. You need guys like that. You kind of sense that was Bo Melton, and I think when you hear and see this, that kind of just validates that.
Well, we'll have to connect him with Craig Nall so he can get that recipe for the sausage spread. A couple of other notes before we hear from Goody. First left tackle reps today, unlike the first two OTAs that we got to watch. Jordan Morgan, not even.
Oh, boy.
Also, with both Elton and Aaron take it to the banks out, Donovan Jenkins getting the work at left guard of the ones, and Jacob Monk continuing at center. All right, there were a lot of really good questions asked by.
Say that again. Who was at left guard? I missed it.
Donovan Jennings.
Okay.
67 in your program. Spent a lot of time on the practice squad. Unless I gave him the wrong last name, which is also possible. So there were a lot of good questions asked by the reporters in our little scrum with Goody there. But I did ask two of them, and Jesse has cut them up. I want, Tausch, for you to listen to these, put on your Tausch translator hat from the old days of this show. Tell me what you make of his responses to these two questions.
Okay.
Did you feel like the offer, I don't want specifics, but did you feel like the offer that you made gave him, it was a fair offer that gave him a chance to earn back whatever he did?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the contract stuff, but whether we did or didn't offer anything, it was just something that I think there were conversations. And again, I think that wasn't something they wanted to do, and at the end of the day, we kind of had to really kind of look and see if that was really what we wanted to do as well.
Is the one drawback to having to release Jaire the fact that because you couldn't find a trade partner, you have no control over where he goes, and you've said when he's healthy, he's still a really good football player. I mean, there's a chance he could end up at a place where he could hurt you, right?
Yeah, I think when you release any good players, which we've done around here a lot, or their contracts run out, I think that's a possibility. Again, I think you're more concerned about your own football team and how that affects us. Because if we take care of us, I'm not concerned, overly about those kind of things.
Tausch?
Yeah, the first part's easy. You kind of covered it already. Jaire's team, they weren't really playing ball. And that's where I don't understand all of the reports, especially Schrager, kind of coming out and saying that's good, things are looking good. And for as much as I give Schrager a lot of credit because he's picked, the Chiefs to win a lot of Super Bowls, that's a huge miss by him. I mean, he is a trusted news source, and he just got it completely wrong. So that I think the fact that this was never, really close, that's what it sounds like to me. This was never going to happen. Their team wasn't going to, and I think the Packers didn't utilize much emotional, or they just didn't. It didn't take up a ton of their emotional capabilities as far as what they were trying to do. That's the first part of that. The second part of that is Goody ain't afraid of Jaire Alexander.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't think
100%.
I don't think he gives two rips. If you want to go sign with Minnesota, good luck to you, Minnesota. Hopefully you pay him a ton of money and allocate more resources so that you can't put those resources into other places. That was pretty crystal clear there.
Yes,
he doesn't give a rip about that.
No, he definitely doesn't. Bo Melton has now taken number one snaps with both the offense and the defense here in 11 on 11, except he doesn't have a green jersey to switch into when he goes on defense. So that's a little bit problematic, but this is a fun little thing. I hope Bo is one of the players we get to talk to today. I think he's a very interesting topic, along with everything else that's going on here at mandatory minicamp. Jesse,
Jason, how do you think a Schrager? How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know, because he said that he was out to. First of all, he was. He wanted everybody to know that he went out to dinner with Matt LaFleur during the draft. And then, if that's the situation, And this is why, we always talk about having multiple sources and why that's important. We have a whole symposium on the decline of journalism, and I'm not talking about the horse
Second
in
place.
recent years. But like, Matt LaFleur, maybe he had a couple of Pinot Grigios, and he was like, hey, when he said we're in a good place with Jaire, maybe he meant the coaches, right? Like, maybe he wasn't talking about the organization. Maybe he wasn't talking about the general manager. Maybe he wasn't talking about the negotiations on a adjusted contract, because as we both have now said in the last 5 minutes, it don't sound to me like there was any negotiation whatsoever. It was basically the Packers, and there was someone else asked the question about why didn't you just take the risk, right? I mean, you're better with him on the team, and $17 million isn't that much. Now, Goody did say that there's going to be some transactions today that will use up some of the cap space, which I thought was very interesting. So do we have a contract extension coming? Is Elton Jenkins going to be taken care of?
Elton?
Is Zach Tom going to get a contract extension while he's competing to keep his job at right tackle? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but he did say that.
Who took those reps, Jason? Who took the reps at first at right tackle?
Every single one was taken by number 50. So I don't know what those transactions are.
By what that was.
Yes, me too. So I don't know what the transactions will be, but he did say that. But the reality here is, when you look at where this team stands, Goody is not looking to use up the cap space. And we had the conversation with Ergie the Bear in terms of how are you going to use that cap money. It is not burning a hole in his pocket. And he claims that his top three corners of Nate Hobbs, Keyshawn Nixon, and Carrington Valentine, he said they've got 95 starts between them or among them. He feels they've got three guys that are number one corners. That's what he said. You're free to disagree with him, but that's what the general manager believes. And so, they are not going to be pursuing Jalen Ramsey. They are not going to be looking to trade for a corner. They're going to dance with the corners that brung them. And they're going to hope that Kalen King, who's got the broken arm, and Micah Robinson and Bo Melton are able to come out here and give them good depth. So they're in a good spot. And again, they've got, I think both Evan Williams and Javon Bullard are capable of sliding down and playing in the nickel in a slot position. So those guys have positional versatility. So they have some options there. But again, it's the old Ted Thompson saying of, you feel really good about your depth, but you're a couple of sprained ankles away from being thin. And I just don't see them as being deep enough at corner. Bill Huber made a good point to Goody that, it's great that you feel really good about those three guys and they've started a bunch of games. The guys behind them have basically not played at all.
What did Goody say?
He basically said that, we think that those guys with an opportunity, they're good players, and they don't have a lot of experience, but that they like who they have in their depth. So, again, this is the time of year too, Tausch, where you like a lot of guys, right? And then we'll see if that changes when we get.
You crowned what's his name way back in the day. I can't.
Why do I always get blamed for Torrey Gurley?
Torrey Gurley, you crowned
one story on him. I went to newspapers.com, the archive. I found one story I wrote about. One.
You crowned him. It was a crowning. This was, and I don't know if this was you or Domofsky that asked this, but about taking on the risk of signing Jaire that you just mentioned, and Goody says, we've done that the past few years, and it didn't really work out for us.
I think it was Dennis Krause of Spectrum.
Krause, veteran. That's a veteran question.
Yeah, he covered you. That's how old he's been doing it.
Guys, it's Dennis been on a long time. He's a pro. It's become fairly obvious. Anyone that got after you, Demoff, whoever, about this Jaire story, if it hasn't become abundantly clear that this was never going to happen, just listen to Goody today. It's pretty clear this was never going to happen.
Correct. Yep. Right.
You're right, indeed. All right.
I think we could put a bow on the Jaire Alexander until he signs with Minnesota or Detroit. This thing's bowed up.
It is. Now it's more about bowl melt instead. We will wrap things up as the Packers continue their minicamp practice. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Jim Rutledge from Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team for the 3rd year in a row. Help us win it all this year and vote every day this month at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Brunner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunnerRealtyInc.com to get housed today.
We're in a new era of college athletics as last Friday a $2.8 billion settlement was approved in the House versus NCAA case. This allows schools to directly pay their student athletes for the first time ever. Here's Wisconsin AD Chris McIntosh on what this could mean for the Badgers.
I am very excited about the prospects for Wisconsin in a post-settlement world. We've spent a lot of time to do everything we can to build a structure that, gives everyone a more level playing field.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from Mr. Irrelevant, and we are hitting the road. Friday, June 13th, spooky. We're heading to Door County Distillery in Carlsville. If you're spending the weekend in Door County, come check out Door County Distillery and hang out with us from noon until 2. That's Friday, June 13th at Door County Distillery in Carlsville. But even if you're not heading to Door County anytime soon, you can bring Door County to you with their cherry brandy for your old fashions infused with Door County cherries, whiskeys, rums, and plenty more. Check them out, doorcountydistillery.com.
Madison School and Community Recreation's For Friends golf outing is Wednesday, July 23rd at the Oaks Golf Course. Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Since 2003, the Friends of MSCR has raised over $630,000 to fund new programming, equipment, fee assistance, staff development, and more. You can support accessible recreation in Madison through sponsorship or by signing up for a foursome. Head to birdease.com/MSCR for more information and to register. That's BIRDEASE.com/MSCR.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Their concession stand makes you feel like you're at the state fair with something for everyone. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Packers practice rolls on at the mandatory minicamp, the first 3, as the Packers off-season program will come to an end on Thursday. Tausch, I just saw Matt Scheinman of The Athletic reporting that the Packers are taking on all of the dead cap for Jaire this season. They're not pushing any of it into next year because they've got so much cap space to work with. Give me one guess on what the rest of that, or what another portion of that cap space will be that we're going to find out later today. What's your guess? And then we'll see if either of us is right.
I mean, they have to. There's 2 roster spots open, so they're going to bring a couple guys in. I think Elton Jenkins he'll have a new deal before the end of this minicamp.
Okay, I am going to go with Zach Tom contract extension.
Wow.
Well, we can't get the pick, so I had to start something.
Okay. Well, I hope you're
anything.
Right. I hope you're both. I hope we're both right.
Oh, wouldn't that be that? He did say a couple of things. Well, maybe it's both. There must be something else that we're not thinking of, but we'll find out later today. Supposedly, any final messages for when I see Scott Wells the rest of the day? What's he even doing here?
Well, he works for the NFLPA. He has some stuff with the NFLPA, so I'm sure that's probably a part of it. But no, just tell Scotty and Julie and the whole crew hello. That's all.
Tausch sends his love. All right, well, that's all we've got for today as well. We'll be back tomorrow with more from Packers Minicamp. This has been Wilde and Tausch. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large